I am Matt Muscardi, joined by my friends and clients, colleagues, Damian Rallis and Emma, who is lurking in the corner of your screen. If you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, and soon you can watch this on Reddit, where all the action happens, then welcome. Thanks for joining us. If you're not watching this, if you're listening to this on a podcast on a Monday morning, then screw you. Watch us live. Can we just get started? I have a lot of things to throw at you.
Can I just say, you're making fun of Reddit. There actually is a lot of action on Reddit.
No, I'm
Beyond
not
this,
making fun of it. I'm saying
beyond the
very...
GameStop nonsense, I did a quick look. There are 1.6 million people on the investing channel, 1.1 million on the stock market channel, 650,000 on the Robinhood channel, and 8.5 million on Wall Street Bets. And you know how many there are on ESG investing?
You're going to tell us.
Yeah.
Five. No, really. 5.
I think I'm one of the
Dang.
5. Do you know how many people there are that follow Free Float Media?
I don't. Let's go. Let's start
Less
the show.
than all of those numbers.
Let's start the show.
So just something to note before we actually get rolling. If you are watching this or listening to this, I am not actually a financial advisor. I realize that as we've done this show, I've never said this. Nothing we say is financial advice because.
But you were, right?
I was, but I am
stop?
not currently.
No.
And if you
have a
listen
license?
to what we say, the chances that you'll lose everything are really high.
Wait.
I just don't want people like going out and buying about what I'm about to tell you to buy because you're buying it because it's a show.
How did you become a financial advisor? You pass a test?
Yeah, you take lots of tests. The tests are not that hard, but you take some
And then
tests.
do you have to re-up annually? You have to retest?
You have to recertify, so you take ongoing education, quote unquote. But really, that means going to conferences and putting your name on
Reddit?
something and saying that you learned something. So it's not that hard. But you have to hang your license somewhere. A broker actually has to hold your license, so you have to be an active advisor.
Got it.
In order to keep
Got it.
This is fascinating show fodder, by the way. Everybody wanted to
Honestly, it's good to know for me because
yeah, see, it is fascinating.
I'm just like, wow. First of all, it's funny because it's all fake. None of it is real, and they're like, we're gonna make people take tests.
The money that people's losing is real.
That's true.
The money that you're about to lose is real, although it's hard to say that because you're making money actually. Sort of hand over fist.
Hand over fist. That makes no sense.
Tell me more about that. Tell me more.
But why is that like represent? How does that represent a lot of money?
That's a saying.
I know, but
make it up. It's a saying.
Okay, but what does it represent?
What do I care? It's just a saying. I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know the etymology of hand over fist. Is this how we're going to start getting into the weeds of what hand over fist means?
Trying to wake up. All right, go.
Okay. Well, here's the show today. We're going to talk about rebalancing the portfolio. So we'll go over the portfolio, and I've given homework to Damian and Emma to actually consider rebalancing it because it's a little wonky. We started the show making like $3 to $5 bets, and now we can make bets that are as big as we want, up to the money we have. So we're going to rebalance. Then I brought 8 new stocks, 4 for Emma, 4 for Damian, that we're going to go over. We don't have to go over all of them, but at least in depth. But I want to mention them. I think this is going to be. I tried to get inside my client's head, and then last, we're going to go over, if we have time, the Starbucks proxy. We'll just read out what we're voting on next week. So unless you guys have anything to say, I'm just.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
I have the etymology of hand over fist for Damian.
Oh yeah. Well, thank God.
Do it.
It is nautical in a historical context. It means it's like the practice of climbing a rope, hand over fist, to making progress.
Oh.
Okay, but how does that equate to quantity?
Oh, stop it.
Oh my God.
All right, let's get going. First, let's start with the portfolio. So if you go to freefloatmedia.com in the lineup section, you can see the Blowhard Index portfolio. You can actually look at it as it's live. Whenever we make a change, it shows up there. But we have 23 positions overall. Emma has 14. Damien has 12. Or they bought 12. I guess how many do you have now? I don't even know. Emma's biggest position is Badger Meter, which happens to be the biggest position overall.
Badger Meter.
Badger Meter. It does sound semi-sexual in a weird way. I don't know why.
Not what I was thinking.
What?
Yeah,
I don't. With the meter part of it.
I don't know either one.
The badger part I get. The meter ruins it.
You do?
No,
You get
it
badger?
It does ruin it. It's like some sort of. It sounds like a poorly designed device. Damien's biggest position is Microsoft. Playing it safe there. Playing it safe.
Right.
Emma is up overall 18.3%. Damien is up 11.8%. So they're both up. There was a moment during the week where Damien was inching closer and closer to Emma, and then Emma had Amosite, which is an education company, just blow up yesterday, and it was up like 16% yesterday, and she took back the lead commandingly. The biggest sectors we have are the biggest sector is hipster stocks. 22% of our portfolio is in hipster stocks. That's Etsy, Beyond Meat, Real, and I think there's one or two others. Followed closely by wokey companies, Brookfield, Badger Meter. They're at 15% for that sector. So let's just start really quickly. Do we want to rebalance? Do you want to buy some more, double down? Do you want to sell some? And just as context, my suggestion would be identify your high conviction plays, the ones that you believe in, and just add a lot to them and leave the rest alone. That would be the way I'd rebalance. But we'll start with Emma. Is there anything you want to do, or are you just going to leave it?
I feel like I was thinking about it, and I was like, I feel like I made moves last time, and I know that Matt is going to disagree with me, and Matt is not going to think that I made moves. So I sort of don't want to do anything.
Okay, so
really?
Emma's out on rebalancing.
Wow.
Damien, are you rebalancing anything here?
Yeah, I want to get rid of Unilever.
Oh, come
yes!
on! I tried to convince you that last week.
I'm not done, and I want more Organigram.
Doubling down on weed and getting rid of Ben and Jerry's.
I want as much as Emma has on Grow Generation.
Okay.
I have 6 on Grow Generation.
No, it's worth almost 10 now.
And I want to.
Oh, I thought he meant the original amount.
And I also want to triple whatever I have of Tantec.
Okay. So let's start with Unilever. You want a full sell order on Unilever. Get rid of all of it. All right.
Sure.
We're going to sell all of it. Place the order.
I just don't want to look at it anymore.
All right. Order received. It's queued up. So Unilever is on its way out. And now we'll move to Organigram. Organigram, a weed company, you wanted to make it equal to Grow Generation. So Grow Generation is currently worth $9.80. Big money. And Organigram is worth $2.66. So you want to add about $7 to Organigram. Is that correct?
Yeah, sure.
Are you listening to the words I'm saying, or just saying yes?
Yeah, I already told you what I want.
Okay, so
I'm gonna say yes to everything.
We're gonna buy $7 at a market order for Organigram. So as soon as the market opens, you'll have roughly the same amount as in Grow Generation. And you want to, did you say triple your exposure to Tantec?
Yeah.
So Tantec, just so everybody knows, is a bamboo company based in China that makes things like bamboo vinegar and bamboo stuff. What else?
Yeah, stuff. I like that. It makes
that was
stuff.
really good.
So we have 1.7 shares. If you want to triple this, it's currently worth to us $3.43. You want it to be about $10 or $11.
Actually, yeah, and I also want to. Let's keep going with this fun. Let's
So let me do
Let's.
this one first. Can I do
Okay.
one at a time? So I'm going to
Yeah.
buy about $7 more of Tantec.
Yeah.
Place that order. All right, we're rebalance. This is something like rebalancing. It's also just buying lots of stuff. And
I thought this was rebalancing.
yeah, rebalancing. That's what it is.
Okay. I didn't
And
really know.
what's the last one?
DraftKings, triple it.
Tripling DraftKings. Doubling down on. We're tripling down on Broseph stocks. I like that. We don't have a big Broseph exposure. Let's increase it. So our current DraftKings value is about 250. You want it to be 750-ish.
Sure.
So we'll buy about $5 worth of DraftKings. Here we go. All right. So Emma stayed put because she's petrified. And Damien tripled down on a bunch of stuff and got rid of some Unilever. When the market opens in 3 minutes, those orders are likely to get placed quickly. And we'll see where we're at. Okay. So then can we get going to the new picks? Let's get going to some new picks.
Nobody's stopping.
Woo!
This week, I picked the stocks. And I had one goal, which is to get inside your heads. This was not like trolley picks. This is not like I'm not confusing you. I actually tried to think like, what if I were to actually match you to a company that I think you'd want to buy and be happy sitting in? These are the stocks that I'm starting.
Is for Emma? It's something to do with cluster munitions.
Something so out of pocket.
So there is something out of pocket for Emma.
Yes.
But here is, we'll start with Emma. So I want to very quickly highlight my hot take on each of your sort of desires potentially. My take on Emma here is Emma won big early. She's up. She made some bets on some weird stocks early. She was winning, and now she's petrified to lose. Now it's like every move somewhere deep inside her, like I can feel the sort of twist in her stomach because she's worried that like I'm going to do the thing that I get made fun of mercilessly on a show for because I picked something dumb and I'm going to lose and then I'm going to be so pissed at myself. So Emma is playing the game. Emma's
But isn't she still doing as well as she's always been doing? I'm just doing a little bit better.
I had a real high at like I was up like over 30% at one point, and now down to 18.
Yeah, okay. She was up like 28%, and it's dropped significantly.
She's still doing well.
You were up like 3%, and now you're up significantly. So you're playing the slow game. We'll get to you in a second. Yeah. It's not all about you. So Emma's playing the game, but the game to Emma, she's trying to square that with the fact that she's basically a liberal anarchist. She's like a Gen Z hipster without social media at all, right? Like, so it's
Don't say that.
How dare you call me a liberal? I'm a leftist.
Wokey, like, outside the box. I'm going to wow you with my creativity and wokeness picks, right? So you got to square playing the game with that stuff, which isn't really in the game. Like it's really hard to sort of Venn diagram those two things, which is why she ends up with something like, say, a weapons company.
I forgot about that.
You forgot about it? I already made fun of you for it.
Here's pick number one. Emma made a request too that she wanted her picks to have some pizzazz. So here's pick number one for you. Okay, it is a SPAC. Now, if you don't know what a SPAC is, effectively what happens is a bunch of investors get together, they make a shell company, they bring that shell company public, and they merge the shell company with a private company rather than doing an IPO.
Killing me.
So let's say you're Uber before you went public. Some investors might have actually created a shell company whose sole purpose is to bring Uber public without having to do the whole IPO thing. They just merge the two together, and bam, you have a publicly traded company. They just announced There's a shell company SPAC that's traded right now called the Climate Change Crisis Real Impact Acquisition Corp. Forget the name. They just announced that the company they're merging with is a company called EVgo. It's a electric vehicle charge stations is what they do. So rather than going and waiting for like the ThreadUp IPO, which I know you're waiting for, and like the Poshmark IPO, which I know you're waiting for, this is an opportunity to buy a company before it's public using a publicly traded vehicle and get wokey and pizzazzy, and you can tell all your friends that you invested in a SPAC. That's what the hot thing is. It's the super cool thing to do. Yeah, in finance. And your friends will be like, what the fuck's a SPAC? And then you can say, I'm not sure. Let me look it up on Investopedia. And
I still don't understand what a SPAC is. Sorry, I just don't really get it.
It's a special purpose acquisition corp.
What are they trying to avoid? Like taxes or?
There's a lot of governance stuff that they're trying to semi-avoid. Really what they're trying to do is bring companies to market, not more efficiently, but give investors in public markets access to private companies before they're actually public.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Emma thinks it's cool, I can tell. All right.
I sort of do.
So here, I separated out my research notes on these companies into 4 sections, effectively. What the blowhards say, what the money says, what the wokies say, and then news and notes about the company, okay? The blowhards say SPACs are cool. That's what the blowhards say. There's potential governance problems with them.
Yeah. From both sides of the spectrum, right? People on the left and right love SPACs.
Everybody loves a good SPAC.
Everyone loves SPACs.
I'm actually showing the wrong SPAC on screen. This is the one I want. So blowhards say SPACs are cool. The money says there's a little bit of a gap between the SPAC valuation. So the SPAC, the thing you would buy, spicky SPAC, the thing you would buy is actually valued at $600 million. The private valuation of EVgo is about $2.6 billion. So either investors don't believe in EVgo, or they're overvalued in the private market, or the valuation gap is going to close, right? You're buying it now, and then later it'll be up. It's actually up 3% or 2.5% yesterday. Over the last week, it's down. Weirdly, I don't know if the market doesn't like EVgo or what. It's hard to say. So that is what the market's saying, but it is a loss-making company. It is like a traditional private company. It's not making money. It's not estimated to make money for at least 3 years. But the wokies say, and this is where I'm going to rope you in, because the pizzazz of buying a new financial doodad is fun. And then you realize, like, oh, it makes no money. That's scary. And then you realize that this is what the wokies say. There's a 3-person board on the shell company. The 3-person, that's the blank check board. It's 2 women and 1 man.
Whoa.
The CEO of EVgo is a female.
Whoa.
So it will be like one of 30 women to IPO in the last 30 years.
I would have bought it already.
50% of the named executive officers at EVgo are women. 50%, fully half of the executive team are women.
Wow.
Shell actually just bought EV charging stations because it's trying to diversify away from fossil fuel. GM announced an EVgo contract, and this is a way to actually get in on Tesla without owning Elon Musk. This is a way of because these are charging stations. Your electric vehicle rolls up. We know GM is moving entirely electric. They have a contract with EVgo. This is only going to get bigger. And they have contracts actually with Uber and Lyft. So you get exposure to Uber and Lyft without feeling bad about the fact that there's a moral hazard employees who get no health care. It's like win-win from that side. So that is my pitch. A SPAC merging with EVgo in a coming month or two.
You
I want
speak
to
some
buy this
very nice
too.
words over there, little man.
Little
You
man.
I don't know who.
you said some words and they went into my brain, and now they're swirling around in there. And I think I like the words. I think I've decided I like the words that you said.
So my recommendation for you is you are a little over allocated to wokiness. My recommendation
It's
to
true.
you, rather than taking a big chunk of bet on this, would be like a $6 or $7 buy. Add to that wokey exposure without taking the top spot. Badger meter, which is your number one spot, is a little bit it's a little bit more stable and mature. And to feed your petrified self, you can take a little bit of chance, have some fun with a SPAC without over allocating to woke and young loss making companies. That would be my suggestion.
Okay. I like it.
You see how that happened,
Unfortunately,
Damien?
unfortunately, Matt is
that
good at this.
that should have been a company for me, frankly.
Don't worry, we'll get to you.
Um,
Who
okay.
founded EVgo? Do we know who founded EVgo?
I do not know. I
Okay.
don't know if the woman who is the CEO is also the founder.
No,
No.
she's not. She joined in 2017.
$7 buy of the Climate Change Crisis Real Impact Acquisition Corp, soon to merge with EVgo. Feeling good about that?
No, I want it to be 6. I'm
$6
serious.
buy placed.
Yeah, don't do 7.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
Let's not get nuts.
I feel like it's disrespectful to Grow Generation to give it more than I originally gave Grow Generation.
Sure.
All right, Damien, are you ready for your first one?
Yes, always.
Okay, so Damien, unlike Emma, is slow and methodical. Damien is anti-establishment and prone to disagree with basically every position.
Everything.
Everything. It doesn't matter what I say. Damien's going to disagree with it.
I disagree with myself in the mirror daily.
Damien wants
Looking at
both
myself.
numbers to describe what he's doing and feelings. So he wants the Venn diagram of evidence and feelings needs to be there for everything, just so that he can disagree with both the evidence and the feelings. But he has plenty to disagree with. I actually think you're most comfortable when you have as many options as possible to disagree with. That's really your sweet spot.
Possible.
But Damien likes humans and local and disruption.
Candy. Right, okay.
And candy, long walks on the beach, and his giant teddy bear that sits in his kitchen.
Actually, I do have a giant teddy bear. It's in the den.
I know that you have a giant.
His name
Your
is
wife
Tender
showed me.
Diggums.
Tender
True
Diggums.
story. True story.
And it's still there.
It is.
Damien feigns casual indifference and mostly actually hasn't thought about anything that he actually wants and actually would rather just argue with whatever you give him instead. So that, I think, is Damien's approach to investing.
And life.
And life. Which brings me to Damien's first company, which you're not going to like the first one nearly as much as you're going to like the other ones, but you're going to listen to the
great.
first one.
I'm excited.
Because you're going to argue the most with the first one. And that's what I want.
Okay.
Square.
Facebook. Oh, no, I'm okay with that. Bearded Wonder.
Yeah. So Square, if you don't know, is the payments company, peer-to-peer money app too. Blowhard say Square is overvalued, but still a moderate buy. They basically, their PE is really, really high. Which is the money says. First of all, Square makes money, so congratulations, a company that actually makes money that we're going to own. Okay.
Maybe.
It's a hugely volatile stock. The price to earnings is 300x. It's like it trades 300 times earnings, which is an absurd number. It's likely to get a bump because it's doing really well during the pandemic. The big reason why is it's effectively a small business play. 85% of the customers for Square are small businesses. And the COVID, because it's somewhere between COVID and small business play. COVID has made all the small businesses go cashless since no one can come in and hand in cash, and they all got Square. And that therefore Square is actually one of the things infrastructure things keeping small businesses afloat in this country. So when you think of Square, you do think of the bearded one and Jack Dorsey, but you should think this is basically the primary payment infrastructure for small businesses in the United States. The wokies have a problem with Square's privacy, but
Okay.
but they, this is like their privacy policy doesn't cover blah 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 blah. Who cares? They're triple B at MSCI. They're a 21 at Sustainalytics, which is
Good or bad?
quote unquote medium.
Wait, so 21 on a scale of 0 to 100?
Yeah, where 0 is bad and 100 is good. No, 100 is bad because 100 is high risk.
Because nowhere else in the world is 100 bad. So
Yeah,
Sustainalytics, yeah, they reversed that course. Great.
They reversed the whole thing. It's very confusing. Dorsey is not paid at Square at all. He only has his equity stake. He does control the vote.
Emma, look at the Square leadership page, and you can see Jack Dorsey without a beard. It's shocking.
Does he have his nose ring in?
I actually know. I put this in my notes as I feel like there's a
greenwashing.
I feel like there's a potential lawsuit here if you're an investor. Because if you were
absolutely,
if you were investing in Square because you thought that guy was like someone you saw at a Portland pub, then you'd be woefully misled by his
absolutely
young picture.
They should update that picture. I mean, that picture is straight out of Dartmouth. It's just bizarre.
They do offer, and this is where it gets more interesting maybe for you, they do offer extended 4-month family leave for
where am I going?
Kids. LGBTQ plus also, so it's very inclusive. Only 2 of the 11 board members are women, but 4 of the 7 on the leadership team are women. So
wait, that's current?
That's current.
Because according to the website, it's 3. Yeah, the leadership is it's more women than men. It's very odd.
It's more women than men in leadership.
Almost hard to look at. Yeah.
Jack Dorsey looks crazy in that picture.
Yeah, he looks like a Bret Easton Ellis character.
He doesn't have his nose ring in.
He looks like an extra for that Christian Bale serial killer movie. What was that
anything
movie?
to do with sociopath or psychopath. Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Jeez. He looks like he wants to show you his business card. The biggest penetrated market for Square, so one of their biggest customer bases is actually charities. Charities who are accepting donations largely accept the payments through Square. It's one of the 30% of charities use Square for their infrastructure. That's a big number, 30%. 1 in 3 charities use this company. And now they're allowing peer-to-peer sending. And if you want an anti-establishment play, they're including crypto in that. You can send each other crypto through the app now. So,
good.
And sidebar for Emma, the RealReal uses Square. So you'd be able to get in on the real action without the real ridiculousness.
Stop it.
So Damien, I would suggest
here
a $10 Square play.
Whoa, $10.
Yeah, I think you're you're saying whoa, except that you just went to $10 in Organogram.
Oh, why did I do that?
And Organogram,
I'm already regretting it.
Most likely uses Square to process their payments. So it's win-win and it's a little bit more diverse. But are you a buyer?
Yeah, sure.
See, it's not even that conversation. Yeah, sure. That's it. Yeah, sure.
I was actually won over by a majority women in leadership. That's just so rare.
Yeah, no, it was done from there.
Yeah, well, the next company I'm going to pitch you, you're going to be won over just by, I'm going to say like 3 words, and you're going to be like, buy it, just buy it.
3 words. Extra cheesy. But what are the 3 words?
We'll get there. How much am I buying it for?
I'll just go with whatever you said. It's fine.
$10. I love it. I love that I'm making him spend money because he's too lazy to actually think about it.
Yeah, it's early. It's early. We don't usually do a show this early. I'm not quite with it.
Good. I'm going to take advantage of this. Bringing us back to Emma. You ready, Emma? You ready?
We never left
Yes.
Emma. Stop it.
Okay. This is slight curveball number one. The big
Here we
curveball I'm
go.
saving to the end. Slight curveball number one. I figured since you've already been primed to buy shitty companies, like
Parsons.
defense contractors,
Com-
like Parsons, you might actually be okay with this company. It's
Oh
called
God.
Casella.
Called AK-47s are us.
Casella is a waste to energy, waste management, and recycling company. They operate landfills,
They're owned by the Sopranos?
but they sort and recycle as much as they can and convert landfill waste to energy wherever possible. That is their business model. Is waste gas energy. The Blowhards say they're undervalued. They're trading at like $58 a share, and the Blowhards say that's way undervalued. The target price is like more like 65 or so. So
They're based in Vermont.
they're based in Vermont. They're in New England. They're fairly local,
Yes.
so I'm targeting local. In fact, all the Blowhards, they get no sell recommendations. It's almost all buy or strong buy. It's a solid buy recommendation. They're trading 17% below the target price for analysts. The money says they actually make money. I'm giving you a company here that makes money. Unlike everything else that you own in your portfolio, we're going to target something that makes money. And doesn't do it by bombing anybody. It's sort of a win-win. It trades at 74 times earnings, which is also high, but that's okay. It's got time to grow into it. Now, the Wokies are not as high on this company.
Oh.
It's B rated by MSCI, and Sustainalytics doesn't have.
Are you calling MSCI woke?
I'm saying that they pretend to be the Wokies. They're giving a Wokie rating.
Okay.
A Wokie score.
I guess they're corporate woke.
Yeah, corp woke.
It's a pathetic level.
Co-woke.
But mostly they're low rated because of dumb non-disclosure stuff. I will caveat this by saying they did spill some crap in a river in New Hampshire at one point.
Oh, good. Well, as
Jesus.
long as New Hampshire, it's not
It
Vermont.
was not in Maine. So
New Hampshire's fine. Live free or die, baby.
Spill it all. But they are a local. They're a local company, and so that's my pitch. Casella. I would pitch this as more like a $5 play. I don't think you want a deep exposure to waste energy, but it is a fairly wokey play, despite the fact that they literally deal in crap.
Emma, what are you gonna say, Emma? I'm curious about this one.
So, the weird thing is that the week that I brought Badger Meter, I was actually originally going to do something in waste management. I was looking at all of these waste management companies.
I'm so in your head right now.
Emma, does Badger Meter taste like chicken?
Yeah, it does. You're right. I don't know what to think about this one. I'm sort of struggling. I sort of.
What is your struggle? What's your question? Ask a question.
It doesn't sparkle.
It doesn't.
What'd you say?
It doesn't sparkle.
It doesn't sparkle for me.
Oh, she's not feeling it. She's not feeling
it. Not like the explosions of Parsons or the deep sparkle of Netflix. How does Netflix sparkle?
I didn't choose Netflix.
That is your company.
Emma, you choose it like 6 times a day. How dare you?
I mean, that's true, but no, Damien's was Netflix is Damien's.
Yes, true.
Are you sure? Because I have it as
yes.
Emma here.
It's not. I did not pick it.
Oh, we're gonna have to change some things. Let's see what that does.
I thought I picked Moderna. Why does it say Matt?
Because I picked Moderna.
No, Matt did pick Moderna.
I don't understand that.
And we're having spreadsheet issues.
Oh, just as an FYI, just by flipping Netflix over to Damien instead of Emma,
I'm losing by
went up to 20% instead.
Oh, great!
Oh my god. That's really funny.
I mean, how is this vastly different from Air Products and Chemicals, which you own, which is full of sparkle. Sparkle.
Okay, hang on. I have identified the issue. So I'm going to preface this by saying dollars.
Wait, say that again, because you cut out, because even Skype was infuriated with your hesitance.
I'm going to preface this by saying that I am going to buy for $5.
There it is.
Oh, really?
I'm placing the trade right now before she can back out.
You need to work on your storytelling. You really sold me the first one, and this one didn't have as much pizzazz in the narrative, and I think that's where I was struggling. You needed to give me like a New England pitch. Like, this is a local company, just spice it up next time.
Oh, well, I'm saving the New England pitch because one of Damien's is New England pitch. So I don't want to double down. This is, you don't know the full story yet. Just buy everything I tell you.
Emma, you bought a company that makes bombs. So what do you care about local? You want to see those bombs kill local?
That one had a good story. Employee-owned company through a trust that owns all defense contracted companies.
Of course.
That was a good story. All right.
That ends in misery.
We're in $5 for Casella. Now we're going to go back to Damien, and this is it's going to be 4 words that sell you on this company. I'm not even sure.
I thought it was 3.
I'm upping it to 4 because I realized 1 is a hyphenated word, and I'm going to count it as 4. I'm not even sure I'm going to tell you anything else about the company. I want to see if this would just be enough. Maybe not even the name. Do you even care about I'm not even going to tell you the name. I'm going to say the 4 words. Ready? Mm-hmm. Dual class, black owned.
But why does the dual class help?
Because why do white people get all the dual class?
I see what you're saying. You could have had me at black owned. I don't know about the dual class.
I know, but the dual class owned, I feel like is the cherry on top.
Black owned, it's a definite yes. So hold on. Unless there's bombs, or I don't do military like Emma. I don't do weapons. I don't do killing machines.
Well, the good news for you is they don't do that, particularly because I spent hours trying to find black-owned publicly traded companies.
Oh, why does it have to take hours?
Impossible.
I looked at like every list I could find that had them, and it's the same 4 companies. We're talking about a country that has 2,300, 2,500 conservatively 2,500 companies that are traded in this country, in the U.S., and they can only come up with 4
2,500? Oh, I thought there were several thousand more than that.
No, in the U.S. There's like 8,000 globally, but in the U.S. I think it's like 2,300.
Okay.
I checked out all 4 of them, and it was between this and Carver Bank, which is a Harlem-based bank.
I like that.
This company is Urban One. It's Black Experience Media Company. They do radio, TV, digital.
Now I feel worse about it, but I'm still going to invest.
Why?
Why do you feel worse about that?
We have a media company. It doesn't seem easy.
It's not easy.
Where's a bank? Bank. Come on.
Here's the thing.
Jeez.
The wokies hate black-owned companies. All of them rate poorly. No joke.
Why?
For this one...
Oh, the wokies. You mean the corpo woko. Okay.
Yeah, corpo woko.
Not the dude drinking an IPA down at the Habit.
Okay. Not the Emma in a Brooklyn pop-up real shop talking to a friend about...
free-range waffle dust.
They don't like it because it's dual class, first of all, which is they mostly don't like, although they were fine with it for Facebook for years, and they put it on indexes. They don't like it now all of a sudden. But Urban One has a zombie director. 64% vote against.
I like it.
Of course, the director's black, right? Like but it's triple C rated by MSCI. Yeah, it's not like they don't like it a little bit. They don't like it a lot bit. And the same was true of Carver Bank, the Harlem-based bank. So I just ignored it.
Really?
Yeah. no one likes black-owned companies apparently.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it
don't
does make you.
understand.
It does beg the question: is should for woke ratings providers, should who owns the company have an effect on the ratings? I mean, they don't
I
get
mean,
into that.
given that today, Ken Frazier, the CEO of Merck,
Yeah,
or
he's
last
stepping
night,
down.
is stepping down. Announced he's stepping
Yeah.
down in July, which we need to discuss in business pants because I'm wondering what he's sidestepping. Now I think every
Interesting.
CEO is sidestepping something when they step down.
They are.
They don't want to be
But
made fun of by business pants.
I almost feel like I almost got this feeling like there needs to be a separate corporate structure for black-owned companies. Like they're all dual class in some way, or there's a like governance protections. Because how can there only be four? Every list that I could find, there was four.
You know
And
why
I
there's
don't mean
four?
there's a black CEO. I mean it's
Black
owned.
bounded, black
There,
owned.
it's black owned. Like it's
Listen, I know why there's only four because the other 50 had single class shares, and all the white people, like at Blackstone and Vanguard, came rushing in and took their shares away. This is
well,
why they need dual class.
Carver, the big story at Carver is they're actually their own 40% of their shares are owned by the Treasury Department because for post-crisis they were bailed out during the crisis and the Treasury still hasn't let them go, and it's kind of like could it get any more depressing than this? So I picked of
God.
the four,
Could.
I picked the
Could.
one that has made positive earnings, is black owned. I love that it's dual class, and it's dual class for a black owner. And I
Right.
almost love that they have a zombie director. I almost love the big fu of we do we do what we feel, because that 64%
A
vote
lot of double
against.
standards going on here.
Well, the 64 vote against is obviously the minority shareholders, right? It's BlackRock and
Right.
Fidelity and State Street, and in this case, it's kind of like white people tell us what to do all the time.
Do you
Can we
happen to
give us
know
a chance?
what year that vote was? Happen to know?
I don't know what year that vote was. I
All right.
believe it was last year. Actually,
Okay.
it was recent. So the name of the company is Urban One.
Sure, I'm down.
I would
Down.
suggest a $7 buy.
Let's do it.
$7 buy.
Because in my world order, I feel like I'm helping them, but you telling me I'm not.
In this case, you are the one. The one owner is a black guy who owns the vote. So you're lining his pocket, is what you're doing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right, back to Emma. This one's a bit of a stretch. I'm not gonna lie. There's not a deep narrative here that I'm gonna get into because I think you're gonna reject it offhand. But I will say this: Uh, I I'm suggesting a purchase of Shopify, which is
Okay.
the less evil Amazon. It's a much bigger
Okay.
small business play. The
Yep.
Blowhards don't like it at all. They say it's way overvalued. It says it's a good long-term play. They did sort of maybe lose money like last year and
Hmm.
some other years before that. But the Wokies like it.
Oh.
It's A-rated. They're Canadian, so Damien likes it.
Yes.
Hmm.
And I think if you sort of want Amazon without the evil, Shopify is a little bit your play. So I'm suggesting Shopify. There's no deep narrative here. I'm just saying Amazon less evil. Is
I
that
think it
something you'd
sparkles
be
for Emma. I
interested in?
think it sparkles. What is Shopify? Sorry to derail this. What is it, a marketplace like Amazon? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Pretty
I
much.
could be getting all my plastic crap from China that I eventually throw away through them and not Amazon.
But it's also
Yeah.
used as like, oh my God, my voice is gone. Um, it's also used so like when I worked in retail,
Yes.
they use Shopify for like their inventory and their checkout, and so I actually am very familiar with Shopify.
It's end to end
Okay.
retail, a lot of small business plays, but it's end to end sort of solution.
Got it.
And you suggested a $5 play?
I think this is a $5 play. I think it's probably overvalued. It's a nice thing to have on the shelf next to the Real and Etsy. It sort of rounds out your retail
It's
angst,
true.
because I don't think I think when Poshmark and ThreadUp come out, you're going to want a piece of that action just because
It's
you want to
true.
tell your friends you want that. But you're probably you may want to take some gains off of the real and plug it into those things rather than you're gonna have a full retail portfolio. New retail is what you're exposed to here.
Don't forget about my bombs. We can't forget about my
The
bombs.
bombs are separate. They don't use Square or Shopify to sell them, so I don't know how to. That's not really retail.
Maybe
That to me is
maybe I could broker an
industrial.
agreement. Maybe I can see how this can all fit together. Okay. Yeah, I'm down. $5 for Shopify.
$5 for
Matt,
Shopify.
Matt, can I give you a little color into this Urban One vote? Do I have time?
Yeah, please do.
I've never seen anything like this. It's very strange. So there were both of the directors were up for they were Class A director nominees. Okay, they both got more votes against than for. Right this year, there are about 1.5 million outstanding shares in that class. 1.2 million didn't even vote, and then and they lost about 90,000 to 50,000. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything remotely like this. I don't. In fact, uh, the directors themselves hold if they had voted. See, Terry Jones owns 49,000 shares.
You can almost single-handedly change the vote.
Yeah, I just don't understand anything about this. Well, I mean, what a conundrum. He owns 49,000 shares and he got 52,000 shares. Maybe he was the only one who voted for himself.
I think ultimately they all recognize that it's pointless because it's dual class. Like voting Class A share when there's a Class B that gets 10x vote. Who cares?
No, but I'm saying that the only people who could vote on the Class A directors were the Class A shareholders.
And they didn't vote.
I just don't. I've never seen anything like this. I love them even more because of this. This is like a
Yes, all
you don't
right.
well you don't see these type of anomalies too often in the corporate governance world. Everything is pretty boring, but this is
Can I suggest another
decidedly
$5 in Urban One?
sexy and
Are we gonna?
entertaining.
Can we go $5 more in Urban One?
Sure, sure.
We're gonna. Oh, I just talked him into another five.
This is so bizarre. This is just so bizarre.
All right,
Jeez.
an extra $5 in Urban One. You are deep on the dual class black experience.
I bet you if I was an MSCI customer and I called to ask about this company, they would just hang up on me because they wouldn't know what to say.
Uh, Sidebar. Do that, please.
Okay. Well, I guess we kind of are a customer now.
We we are. Vesty.ai. Go check it out. All right, Damien, we're going to turn back to you.
Yeah.
I got a couple more companies here. This one's going to move a little bit more quickly. I think Emma's got the last really sparkly company. But this is someone you're probably familiar with, IDEX. Do you know
Oh yeah,
IDEX?
of course. I mean, they employ pretty much everybody who doesn't get the job they want to get around here,
They are Maine headquartered. More than 10% of their workforce is in Maine, despite being actually
including my brother.
multinational.
Yeah.
And it's local. It's a pure local play.
Oh, it's local. I could walk. I could be there on foot in like 25 minutes.
Their business model is animal health, water quality. It's basically an ag play. It's local based. Blowhards actually call it a strong buy.
Yeah.
So they like it. The analysts like it a lot. It's got a high price to earnings, but actually makes money. So that's a nice thing. I always like when companies make money. I feel like that doesn't happen that much anymore.
They do make a lot of money. Yeah.
It's actually fairly stable. There's not a lot of shorts on this company, and it's a low beta company, which means if you've ever watched the education card on the Vesti app, you might learn more about these things. Low beta effectively means the market moves and it moves a little bit less. So it doesn't move as strongly with the market. It's conservative in that way, but the wokies, the corpo wokies, AA rated by MSCI, medium risk by Sustainalytics, 36% of the women 36% of the board are women. And the CEO is not the chair of the board, which doesn't happen in the United States, so good for that. Mostly this is a boring play. It's a boring, get local, get deep local play, support your local community through stock buying. And I would suggest maybe a $5 buy on this too.
The founder and former CEO used to be married to Glenn Close too, so there's something.
Yeah, that did not pop in my research.
Okay, yeah, I have to do this. I mean,
For how
I don't.
much? You feel comfortable at 5? You want more? How local do you
Uh,
want to be?
what do you think?
I mean,
Yeah, advisor.
you do have Vital Farms. You're building sort of an ag play between ag and fake ag, between Beyond Meat, Vital Farms, Tan Tech, which is bamboo. This would increase your sort of local farmy exposure. Organogram arguably is a farm play just in Canada, and they happen to grow weed. You like growing things, and you like
Yeah, I
aggy
do.
things. So
Well, yeah, I
it
mean, I'm
gets to
most
that
attracted.
blue collary,
It's the
shtick that
local
you have.
play I'm most interested in. Yeah. So, what are you recommending?
I'd be conservative about it, so like a
Sure.
$5 play, but you'd
Let's
be
do it.
okay with doing more.
Let's do $5.
$5 it is.
It's
Those
a
are
pricey stock, right?
no, it's not that pricey.
Oh, okay.
Average price per share is $500 a share. So
That's not pricey.
Shopify's 1,200.
I'll
So
tell you the inside story of this company is that my brother had a crap load of shares many years ago, and he sold way too low.
yeah,
That's
Dang.
if we
that's
sold so
why
many years ago, yes, he did.
that's why you won't find him on Wall Street Bets.
Okay, Emma, this is your last one for you.
He's also not a racist, so he wouldn't be comfortable.
Nice side note. This last one is the full-on game playing curveball. I'm going to recommend, Emma, that you buy gold.
Oh,
Okay, keep talking.
Okay. iShares Gold
seems
Trust.
evil.
It's an ETF that tracks the gold price. And I picked them because they actually hold gold bars in a vault. So you're getting it's the closest you can get without buying a vault full of gold to owning gold.
Like there's a
And
person
having it
down
be
there
liquid.
holding.
Like there is an actual room with a lock on it, and a guard standing outside reading a Hustler magazine and drinking a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, um,
Ooh.
in front of the vault full of gold. I imagine that's how it works, right? That's what Ocean's 11 taught me. Um,
Yep.
Duncan.
Gold is a hedge. The reason why I'm pitching gold to you, because I know your intense fear of the universe, and the gold play is actually it's negatively correlated to stocks usually, which means stock market goes up, gold usually goes down a little bit. It makes you market neutral. You lock in gains that you already have, and if the market crashes, which you're petrified about, you're going to buy something, it's going to be super volatile, it's going to go down, and you're going to be sitting on it. Gold is the thing that goes up. Um, by way of reference, too, it's a scarce resource, as you know, right? All the gold that's been mined so far
No.
there's about 200,000 metric tons of gold that have been mined. And for reference's sake, 200,000 metric tons of gold. Exxon emits 35 million metric tons of carbon per year. So just Exxon's carbon weighs more than the amount of gold that's been found in the world so far. And according to Blaze TV and Alex Jones, this is actually always a good bet. You should always
Oh,
buy gold. So if you're going to buy weapons, you might as well buy gold too. There may be the Corpo Wokies have pointed out there may be a small child labor problem with mining
I was about
gold.
to say.
small what? A small what?
Child labor problem, but that's not the fault of the gold. That's the fault of the miners. You're not buying the miners. You're
It is
sitting on
not
the
the fault
element.
of the
Okay,
miners.
you're sitting on the
It's the
element
fault.
itself.
It's the fault of the children.
If the children should
No.
have another job. That's
Yeah,
the
why are they
problem.
Oh
complaining
my.
about it?
And look, it really comes down to this. If you want to win the game of returns against Damien, who
I
is
mean, I have.
clearly not that hard to beat,
No,
but if you
I
want
agree
to
with
win,
that.
one way to win is to diversify your returns. You make money in up and down markets. You think like you sort of a morally wokey Gen Z hedge fund. not just I'm buying the real, but I'm thinking about my portfolio like it's a hedge fund, and I'm hedging against, wokiness and Damien. So this is all about portfolio construction. This is about choosing something that's uncorrelated. And side note, it is actually shiny. You wanted something shiny, that's shiny.
I was
So
about to say, I asked for sparkle and you very literally delivered it.
I give what my clients want. I would suggest, my suggestion would be a $10 buy of gold. That would be my suggestion. What say you to this brilliant idea?
What says I? I don't know what I says.
So the conflict in your head is the child labory thing because you feel like kind of icky about that. However, you did blow up all the children already anyway with your investment in Parsons. So
Well,
most
she
of
had
them
to-
were
Exactly.
already
Yeah.
dead.
This
She
is
had
where
to
this
create-
game ends
Go.
up with me in a depression spiral because I've, screwed myself over from any argument for any stock at all because I have weapon. I mean, but also none of it's good.
Don't stop.
I don't know.
You don't say none of it's good. You can't compare Parsons that makes, what do they make, bombs or
They make a
missiles?
whole
I think we've
bunch.
conflated. I think they actually just do like back end infrastructure for defense.
And you're
Yeah.
comparing that to Vital Farms.
But gold sits outside of
Yeah.
all of that. This is totally separate. You're buying a commodity.
It is totally
You're
separate.
buying metal.
What about those children's fingers?
They don't actually touch the gold because they lost their fingers from a Parsons landmine.
Oh, I like it.
You know what?
No.
I think I'm gonna pass.
Oh.
What? This was my
Yeah.
guaranteed play. The hedge,
Well, you know
the
what?
game winner.
But if we say yes to everything, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I just feel icky about it.
Yeah, I'm with you. It doesn't smell right.
We've already sold our soul. And when I asked you if you wanted to rebalance, you didn't say sell my Parsons because I can't live with it. You said I'm good. I'm good to go.
Where does
I think that, well, I don't know.
Listen to the waffling. Listen to the fear.
Where does the majority of gold mining take place geographically? Do you know?
Usually equatorial regions. I think
And
the controversy I saw was like in New Guinea or something.
Yeah.
Where there was some child labor that was found at a gold mine, and that was like a Barrick gold miner or one of the big gold miners that had the problem downstream.
And do the countries
Honestly-
themselves own the mines, or is it do global multinationals own the mines? Who owns the
both.
mines?
There are small local mines that are country owned, but a lot of multinationals own it. Barrick Gold is a massive multinational company, and they're one of the biggest providers of gold. In fact, a lot of people who want to buy gold but don't want to buy gold buy Barrick because they're a gold miner.
Okay, I think I figured out what my problem is.
It's too shiny.
No,
shiny,
I
yeah.
think
You're afraid
that
of winning.
yes, but that's a separate issue. No, I think that honestly, mining has a negative connotation in my mind because there's been a bunch of bad mining press recently, like the whole thing about
Recently?
Tesla mining cobalt,
You mean forever?
which is, I mean, forever. But in particular, I feel like I've been reading a lot about poor labor practices when it comes to mining, especially the cobalt one for Tesla. And I think it just has too much bad press in my mind, and I can't shake it.
And yet Parsons.
And yet Parsons is still there. I don't know why it's there, but it is.
The fact is, the gold mining is arguably separate from the gold metal.
I think I also struggle with the fact that gold has absolutely no inherent value beyond the fact that there's just not that much of it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're saying that on a show in which we are buying pieces of paper that represent companies that offer you no actual value of anything. That the physical thing that is gold has no inherent value. I would actually argue that everything else has less value than this does. This is actually arguably the most valuable thing.
What?
And here's why. So, Planet Money, which is like the straight version of this show, where the snark-free version.
You mean the successful version?
Oh, is that the word I'm looking for? They did like 7 years ago. They did a whole "Why is gold valuable" thing, and they actually attacked it from a geological perspective. They said, look at the metals, not just how much there are, because there are other rarer metals, but how much there are, and then the physical properties of those metals. Like there are metals that were too porous. There are metals that are too heavy, and you couldn't actually carry. There are metals that actually didn't hold shape. You couldn't do anything with them. You couldn't melt them. The melting point was too high, or it melted too low. There are metals that actually rust or change, in natural elements. Gold was the one that stuck out when you narrowed it down. Gold, platinum, silver are basically the reason why they're valuable is because they stay shiny, they're hard to find, and they're easily portable. And people will ascribe a value to those kinds of things because there's not much of that. Not even your sheep that, in Damien's backyard that he uses.
Oh, I wish.
That he's going to take care of, have IDEX take care of. Not even those are portable or easy to trade. But gold is one of the things that's easiest. And for like literally thousands of years, gold has retained value.
I actually had a very proud moment of helping to transport 50 sheep one day, selling them off. They're very fun to grab and cuddle with.
That's a little side notey.
But they're transportable. We got them in that truck. How dare you?
It's almost like you're making it up, but I know you're not. I know that it's absolutely
definitely
true.
Not making that up.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I just can't get over.
All right.
In my head,
move on.
I can't get over the image of child labor, under, paid, probably abused adult labor, mining gold to create,
Very, very different from the retail industry that uses child labor in Bangladesh, where they actually burn people alive and then resell it through places like, I don't know, The Real, and or blow those people up through.
The Real
like,
uses
Parsons.
All consignment clothes. It's all consignment.
This is like metal consignment. These aren't the miners. You're not buying the miners. You're buying recycled metal.
Emma, I'll come to your defense and I'll attack you in the same thought. Okay. It's that I'm generally with you in most things, but you do have a convoluted ethical system that you portray. It's hard to understand you. I get what your heart is, but I think what we're trying to say is we don't understand the investor in you. It's complicated. You're complicated.
Because the winner in me versus the little communist in me is confused.
Wait, why do you have to define winning as investing in horrible things? What? Who's creating the rules?
Things that make more money than you.
That's winning. Okay, so that's what you think by winning, Emma?
Yes, crushing you.
All right.
Yeah.
Then just get everything. Get mining. Get diamonds. Get it all. Get the weapons.
Yeah, but her conflict, the conflict you're talking about, is her desire to win with the sudden ethical, pop-up retail shops in her brain that say, "My fingers, I'm a child and I'm dying." Those two things are in constant opposition.
You're basically A-Rod with your steroids. I mean, you're going to have an asterisk by you anyway if you win.
That doesn't seem
okay.
Like the right analogy.
Like every good
Barry
baseball
Bonds.
player on the planet, A-Rod is not alone. Everyone should have an asterisk next to their name.
Not Pedro.
Oh,
okay.
Pedro.
Quick shout out to Dustin Pedroia. You had a nice career before the last 3 years where you've been injured.
He's a listener.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking directly to him. Didn't you understand? Okay.
She said no,
look,
Matt. Move on.
Yeah, we're
Look,
moving on.
okay, I understand that I own some problematic things, and mostly bombs, but I can't. It's just not going to happen today.
Mostly bombs. All right, Damien, last one for you. I wanted to get you in on the SPAC revolution also.
Ugh, I don't like the sound of that. Unlike Emma, I feel like there's something nefarious going on with SPAC.
Well, here's the not nefarious version.
Fine.
Faraday Future.
What? Who?
Faraday Future is
Faraday Future.
Faraday Future is Tesla without Elon Musk. They're electric vehicle company. They don't actually. You can only. It's. Do you remember when you could only reserve your Tesla and then they were going to ship it like eventually kind of thing?
Yeah.
Faraday's in that zone, but they already have like 5 models.
It's pretty.
It is a lovely vehicle. We don't know if they're going to be like a dual class company. There's no S1 right now. There are 18 NEOs in the investor presentation and only 2 women. That's sort of problematic. But this is big dick horsepower. This is twice as powerful as Tesla and Neo. It's the range.
Why? Why is it so
Tesla.
powerful?
Because this is when you have 16 men who run the company.
Right. Okay.
You want it to be. You literally want it to be a giant, codpiece.
When I hear the term horsepower, I immediately stop listening.
I'm with you. I'm with you,
Nothing that
Emma.
interests me less than horsepower.
Nonsense.
You said you
Horsepower
wanted to
equals
SPAC.
horseshit.
I thought this. You said you wanted in on new shiny things, so I thought this was a way to do it.
So this is a very.
But
This is
here's
an
what
Asian. This is an Asian company.
No, I believe they're not.
Okay.
But here's what I thought you'd like, actually.
Yeah.
A feature of the car that not even Tesla has. The rear seat of the car reclines 60 degrees. You can basically lay down in the back of the car.
I like that, but when am I ever in the back seat? I want to be in the back seat.
Well, your wife is driving. You're like, I'm going to go sit in back, and you recline 60 degrees backwards.
No, I like that. I like that.
More. It's like a non-sucky airplane.
I love reclining.
And it's electric.
I just, where are they from? Where is this company headquartered?
I picked it because I thought he'd like reclining.
No, I do. I really enjoy reclining.
I wrote that in the notes.
Where are they based?
That is a good question. I believe they're U.S. based.
I can't find any good information on them. So they're publicly traded already?
L.A. They're based in L.A. So they're a SPAC. So they announced the merger with the Property Solutions Acquisition Corp. Which is a SPAC. It's actually being brought to market, I think, by PIMCO. And this is how Faraday is going to go public.
Well, this is decidedly, if you look at the team online, this is decidedly Asian company, which is
they're
fine.
in LA, so there's a big Asian population. But I do know the one of the most important people in the company is one of the two women who are NEOs. She actually leads the AI and software development for all of the autonomous driving and for all of the interface of the car.
Who's that?
I can't remember her name. She's an Asian woman, but she's the lead of that division. So she's like the programming, dev.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm fine. I'm with you.
I would do it for a small number. I'd do this for $5. I would not.
Yeah, let's do it.
Over allocate to this.
Let's do it.
There it goes. That's it. That's what I got for companies. The only one we passed on.
Gold.
Was gold.
I would have passed on that too, Emma. It doesn't smell right.
You.
What does gold smell like?
It smells amazing. It's like I would love a whiff of gold in the morning. You guys are nuts.
It doesn't pass my wokey barometer. But the thing that bugs me about it is just that it's probably being mined in countries that are getting very little benefit from it. It just bugs
exactly.
me.
Oh please, like we can say the same thing about Parsons or
I don't invest in Parsons.
You invested in Apple, where the people jump off of roofs because they hate their lives so much building
Yeah,
Apple products.
but it's
And
not like
there's a
Freedom
little
Tower
That
room.
uses
suicide
slave labor to
problem.
build their products.
Yeah, there's an actual suicide problem in that. And you
Matt,
will reject the
Matt,
child labor of a thing twice removed, but buy the company that.
Matt, there are suicide problems that exist without Apple. It's just it's a problem.
Oh,
Suicide's a
yeah.
thing.
No.
Or,
Okay, let's
whoa,
absolve
we've gotten
all
into
the
weird
company,
territory.
the company of its own suicide
Those people
problem.
were depressed
Apple is
already.
the
Believe me.
Cornell
They're all depressed. It's
of
true.
mega cap companies.
Emma, can you go send Foxconn Corporation the remainder of your Adderall subscription, and that will
Hey.
solve Damien's problem.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I can just pop over to your house, Matt. Do you need some?
I could use a lot. All right, so just to round this out, what we bought was Emma bought the EVgo SPAC. She bought Casella, the waste management company, and Shopify, and passed on Gold for bizarre reasons.
Buy gold.
Damien
For
bought
obvious reasons.
Square, Urban One, the black media company, and IDEX, the local company, as well as a touch of Faraday Future, the anti-Elon Musk.
I'm already feeling bad about Square, but that's fine.
You're not. It fits in with the fact that you own Apple and you
They
own
feel evil.
Microsoft and you own all these big companies. I don't understand how you'd feel bad about Square, the one with the wokey bearded guy that you feel like a kinship with.
He's upset because seeing Jack Dorsey without his beard and nose ring was disconcerting.
I know, that just totally blew him up.
It makes me feel like that the true Jack is something different.
The true Jack is probably a monster.
Oh, jeez, a monster.
Wow, a monster. Damien, your alternate company that we didn't buy was Ahold Delhaize, which is actually the parent company to Stop and Shop in Hannaford. Hannaford is the second largest employer in Maine, next to Maine Health.
Yeah, unfortunately. Hannaford is bizarrely popular around here.
It's really popular. So
can I tell you this? Jack Dorsey actually went to 2 universities that are very normal. So I love him again.
All right,
shout out
to Square. That's all it took.
Shout out to University of Missouri at Rolla and NYU. I like it.
That's all it took. It's just like schizophrenia. So, do you want to buy any Ahold Delhaize, or I assume that was my other option instead of
just
IDEX.
Stop pushing. Just relax.
I'm just gonna make the offer. All right. That's all we've got for stock purchases. Everybody feel good about their purchases? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling disgusting? How we feel?
I like this. This is another reason why I love Jack Dorsey. He walks 5 miles to work each morning.
Uphill.
And calls it a very clearing time. That's so me. He's a fan of Kendrick Lamar's music and of French radio station FIP.
Saying that you like Kendrick Lamar's music is the equivalent of being like, I have black friends.
No, this is from Wikipedia. I don't think he's saying this.
Ooh.
Don't get me wrong. Kendrick Lamar is incredibly talented. I like his music very much. But when you're like,
no,
Emma,
this is from Wikipedia. I don't think Jack was here. I don't think Jack was here editing
enough times. He made a point. He was like, "Look, there is one black man in my Spotify playlists."
No, I don't believe that.
I think we should slow clap for that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
The last thing...
I'm usually aligned with Emma. I don't buy that he has one black person in his Spotify playlist. How dare you?
We know that the board of Twitter actually was actually very diverse before Scott Galloway and his troop of merry white people, activist investors, decided to take it over.
Scott is very, very white. He's very beautifully white. Could go. Scott
the last thing we have to talk about really quickly, and we're not going to vote on this now, is just the shareholder meeting for Starbucks. The proposals that we're going to vote on, there's the election of the directors. We'll go over the directors. There's the approval of say on pay, the comp, and the ratification of the independent auditor, Deloitte and Touche. But the one that I'm most interested in, there is a shareholder proposal to get an employee board representative.
Ooh, I'm sure Starbucks said no effing way.
They said they summarized their position as vote against.
Go to hell.
Get the F out. of our company. That's how they summarized it. They did do. We can go over their full reasoning for their no suggestion in the next show. But
Yeah, let's do it. Was there full reasoning? Have you seen our employees?
it was yes. No, it was not that. They make up some other reasons that I feel like are worth discussing. Um, so that's what we're gonna do next show. But I just wanted to prime it. Anybody have anything last words before we wrap this up? I'm really excited about the portfolio now because I got you to buy so much fun crap. I really actually wish we had gold. I may just buy gold for myself,
Yeah,
just
you
to
could.
show you.
Yeah, you could have. Yeah, do it.
Why
And
not?
maybe next week instead of me hosting, maybe Emma can host, and we can.
Emma just perked up.
I know. Maybe if Emma hosts the Blowhard Index, you and I can argue about what goes in the portfolio.
Well, or the good game. It's her choice.
Either
I
way, or
just
both of them.
love the idea of being in control. It's going to be so
Okay.
organized. It's going to move so fast.
It's going to be like a 3-minute show.
And we're just going to be the two of us mansplaining over Emma the entire time is what it's going to be.
Absolutely,
There's
100%.
a real risk of that. Then that's it. That was the
All
Blowhard Index.
Thank you, financial advisor.
I'm
Thank
glad
you,
you feel
financial
good.
advisor.
That was Emma, who's lurking up top, and Damian Rollis, and I'm Matt Mascardi. We are Free Float Media, and if you like what you saw and or heard, then subscribe to us, share us, tell your friends about us. You won't do those things, but I really wish you would because it would be great. And we'll be back at you next week in a podcast on Tuesday covering the news and also on the radio in WMPG, Portland, Gorham. If you listen to the radio on Wednesday night, and then on Thursdays we do our game show, either The Good Game or Biz Nuggets. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
You will.